this is such a treat. I'm so excited to have Tom here sharing his wisdom with us. We are in for a wonderful opportunity to learn about the methods that he has been teaching for many, many years. And many of you know that I used his retreat in November to write about close to 30,000 words and get this book created that I actually didn't even know I was going to write, which Tom's used to. So it was quite an experience. And so today what Tom will be doing is sharing more about the process that he uses, giving some background. I actually attended one of these here in Sedona in last June. So that's how I found out. And now he's here to share with us.
Yes, and we're going to be doing quite a bit of writing today so I can demonstrate to you how this works. So if you're more comfortable with the keyboard, make sure that's handy. If you're more comfortable with a long hand and a pen and paper, make sure that's handy. Because the whole focus of what I'll be sharing with you today is, there's Sabrina, how to connect with your divine author within.
Okay, I'm taking you off of mute.
Divine author within. There's Sabrina.
Hi, everyone. Sorry, technical issues.
Hi.
Hello. So, Tom, would you like me to start where you wanted me to start, or
where you want to start? Let's go.
All right. Well, first of all, thank you, Lisa. It's good to see you again, and thank you for hosting this virtual workshop for your group for your tribe of people here. It's wonderful. You know, it's always an honor to show up and be able to connect with people no matter where they are, transcend this whole time-space reality, and really have this deep connection. So I'm grateful for Zoom, and it usually works really well for me. So I apologize for being late, but I just wanted to, I won't take up much time because Tom is going to take you on some wonderful writing exercises. So if he hasn't told you already, be sure to have some pens and paper available to you. You can use your keyboard, but if you have unlined paper and pens, that would be great. And we will have a special offer for you at the end to be able to experience this. We have our writing retreats, and we actually offer it on a virtual basis. So no matter where you are, you can actually write your book in a weekend, along with the people that are doing it in Sedona. So we have a very special treat for Lisa's peeps here. And also, we will have other opportunities we'll explain to you that you can connect with us and receive some free gifts. We want you to be able to have this writing audio. Does everyone have that available already to you that you're going to be able to play during this session?
Yeah, I sent it out to everybody to download, but if they haven't, then they can do that now.
I can put it into chat just to make sure they have that, because this really does help you to connect to the divine author within. And we want you to be able to use this at any time you're doing, if you write a blog, if you journal, however you express yourself in written form or creation form, really, you can use this subliminal track to help and assist you be in that creative mode and allow things to flow from you. So we will also send whatever we need to Lisa to share this with you so that you have it at a later date if you need to. We just want to make sure that everyone does have it available now. And in case if it doesn't work for you to download and save it from Dropbox, the link I just put in there, you can go to tombird.com, and on the website in the upper right-hand corner, you'll see a little block that says author sign in, and to the left of that is a little speaker icon. And if you click on that speaker on the website, on the homepage, it will actually play. But if we get too many people doing it at once, I don't know, the server could crash. I don't know what the threshold is. The preferred method is definitely download, save, and play. Okay? And I think that's all I have to share at this moment, Tom. So thank you.
Good.
Thank you.
Let's go ahead and get started. So make sure that you've taken a necessary bathroom break, because we're probably going to go for the full hour, hour and a half without a break. So if you need to take one now. Make sure, again, you have your pens and paper handy. If you have the CD in your possession, please put on the subliminal track now. Turn on the subliminal track now. It's the one with the coyote music. Turn it on now. If you don't have it, don't freak out. You'll be fine. This is an extra added benefit if you do have it. turn it on now. Make sure you're muted. We will have a chance for Q&A at the end of this session. Make sure your pens and paper are handy, your keyboard's handy, got a little something to drink handy. Now, the essence of being able to write effectively for anything, whether it be a blog, short story, poetry, even a law brief, a book, screenplay, it hinges on your ability to get into what I refer to as a divine author within state, divine author within state, which is basically the merging of the spiritual. You may want to take this down so intellectually understand this. The merging of the spiritual self with the emotional self, with the mental self, with the physical self. Again, merging the spiritual self, your higher self, merging that with the emotional self, and the mental self, and the physical self. Through that state, anything can be accomplished. The best business plans have been written while in that state. The best battle plans have been written in that state. The best books and passages of poetry have been written while in that state. The movies, which we love to watch, which we watch time and time again, which change our lives, were written in those states. Speeches were written in this state. Now, the difference between what we're going to do and what others have done that have come out with these great products in the past is, in most cases, those that came out with the great products in the past didn't directly get into this state. They accidentally stumbled into it. We're going to directly go into this state. Now, the four levels of the human consciousness, the spiritual, the emotional, the mental, the physical. The physical state is the most frail, and weakest of the four states. So in getting into this state, it's very important to give the physical state as much support and nurturing and guidance as possible. All writer's block begins and ends on the physical plane, on the physical level. Because when hit with a tremendous amount of inspiration from the spiritual state through the emotional state, through the mental state, and then eventually resting in the physical state is easily overwhelmed and just stops. It's like when you run out of breath, I'm just not going any further. Can't jog any faster, can't go any more, can't walk any further, can't carry boxes up any more flights of stairs. I'm just stopping. So the body has the control, the ultimate control, because of its frailty, over whether you succeed or fail with what it is you're attempting to write. So important is this state that time needs to be devoted to getting into this state before you do any writing at all. Before you do any writing at all. Writing is an all or nothing art form. Either you're in the divine author within connected state and it goes famously and it leads you to enlightenment and an evolution of your spirit and those you touch, or you're not in the state and you have writer's block. So that's how important it is to be in this state. So how do we get in this state? Please take some notes on this, and I'll try to go as slowly as possible. First thing, reserve specific time for your writing. And you'll do nothing but write, like we have today. One of the reasons we're going to get the results that we're going to get today is because of the fact that we have time reserved. You reserve time to do this. Best time to write is first thing in the morning, when you're freshest, when it's physically ready, and when you're awakening from the right brain state, which is the key link to the divine author within state. Your left brain isn't awake yet. Number two, pick a specific spot in which you will do your writing. It can be a roving spot. I travel a lot. I move around a lot. So my spot for writing is any place I open up my iPad in the morning, that's where I write. That becomes my sacred space. For those of you that are a little bit more grounded than I am in regards to traveling and stay home a lot more, pick a specific place in your home or your home environment or hometown whether it be outdoors or indoors, where you can write. And only go to this space, this corner of your house, this area of the room, front seat of your car, the library, the park, wherever. Only go to that space when it is that you're going to do your writing. Don't go there to pay bills. Don't go to the text. Don't go to the talk on the phone. Only go to that sacred space when it is you're going to write. Third step, relax. The most misunderstood in the Western culture of this world is the word relax. We try to relax. Relaxing isn't trying. Relaxing is pulling the plug and just letting go. Relaxing is letting go. So don't try to write. Don't try to relax. Just relax. When you relax, your left brain goes to sleep. When your left brain goes to sleep, you have direct connection with your right brain. And your right brain has direct connection with the author within. And when the left brain's awake, it's impossible to get to that right brain state because of the fact the left brain wants to control your every thought and every movement, every action. And it doesn't want you to write because it doesn't want to lose power and control over your life. Thank God the left brain sleeps, because when you relax, you go to sleep. The left brain goes to sleep. So how do you relax? The CD that Sabrina was talking about has 2 tracks to it. Track 1 is a relaxation technique. It's about 6 minutes in length. Play that and follow the instructions to that anytime that you're going to sit down and write. It'll relax you. Second track is subliminal by nature. It's made up of rhythmless music, and recorded at a very deep level, on a subliminal level, is my voice encouraging you to write and encouraging that you can write. So once you relax and you turn on the second track, the CD, you'll remain in that state as long as the CD plays, which is one of the keys to the success of my retreats, is because we put people in the state and keep them in that state through playing the CD the entire weekend, which enables them to allow the book to write itself through them at that time. Step number 4, addressing the physical needs to prepare the way, addressing the physical needs to prepare the way for the inspiration of your divine author within. To prepare the body to accept the inspiration of the divine author within so it's not quickly overloaded and shuts down, we have to do a few things. Make sure you're sitting up straight in a chair. Make sure your spine is straight. That's very important. Spine has to be straight. Arms and legs uncrossed. Energetically, that's extremely important to have your arms and legs uncrossed. And circulation-wise, it's important. The minute your circulation gets clogged because you're sitting like this, the body stops running the race of the writing. Arms and legs uncrossed. Eyes closed. When you close your eyes, you automatically make a connection with the divine author within that's already inside you. That connection is already inside you. So another word that's been used, the divine author within connection, is the muse. The Greeks were right. We do have a muse. There is such a thing as a muse. They are wrong, though, in believing that that muse lived outside of us. It doesn't visit us from the outside. We already have those roots inside ourselves. When we close our eyes, our consciousness goes inward. We connect with that divine author within state, or the muse, and then we have that divine connection we all look for, we all long for, we all live for. And while your eyes are closed, watch me, drop your chin to your chest. We'll go through these steps together in a few minutes. Drop your chin to your chest. When you drop your chin to your chest, it disconnects the consciousness of your left brain from the consciousness of your mind. So when your chin's just rising off your chest, that means you're getting more and more left brain influence. So just drop it down and disconnect. It's like turning off a light switch. Next, breathing. Breathing's really important. We all know that because we're all breathing right now. But the question I really must ask us, and I ask each one of you, is are you breathing enough to maintain the body's needs to move through the inspiration of the divine author within connection? And the answer is probably no. Most of us, most Americans especially, use maybe a third of their lungs when they breathe because they're always in fight or flight. The minute your body runs out of oxygen, it stops. The inspiration of the divine author within state as it enters the body will increase the body's needs for more oxygen. So we have to make sure that we're breathing very deeply. And the only way to guarantee that you're breathing very deeply is to exhale to the full capacity of your lungs. So take a nice, just practice this. Take your right hand. This is my right hand here. Put it on your diaphragm. Put it on your diaphragm. Take a nice deep breath in. Now release it through a deep exhale. When you do that, your hand should come in substantially. Your shoulders should round as the oxygen exits all of your lungs. I don't have any oxygen in my lungs right now, so the next breath I take, will completely fill my lungs. That's breathing. So let's just do 3 of those together, just so you get a good idea. Nice deep breath in. Really exhale deeply. Nice deep breath in. Exhale deeply, make that hand come all the way in. One more. Nice deep breath in. Blow it out. Those steps need to be followed consistently and religiously to attune the body to the needs of the inspiration of your divine author within state. If you have a difficult time with your writing, if your writing isn't going well, if you have writer's block, it's tied to not properly following one of those steps I just went over with you. So you can self-correct very easily just by going over this list that we've already gone over. Now, step number 5. Things to keep in mind. Things to keep in mind while in the divine author within connected state. Things to keep in mind while in the divine author within connected state. Things I'm going to suggest are essential to maintaining the sanctity of that state and to keep the words flowing. Number 1, step 5, number A, letter A, I should say. Write as fast as you can. Speed ostracizes, writing speed ostracizes a left brain conflict. So the faster you write, the less time you have to think. So just write as fast as you can. B, 5B. Don't read, edit, or judge your material. Don't stop to correct. Don't stop to research. Don't stop to read. Don't stop to judge. Just keep writing. The minute you read, you go to the left brain, you go back to the dark side, and you get shut down. You shut down the body, shut down the divine author within connection, and you have writer's block. C, always write what you feel. What you write when you're in that state may make you feel vulnerable at times, may make you feel foolish, may make you feel brilliant. Just write what you feel. All great words and works with words have come through the heart of the author, which is directly tied to us expressing our feelings. D, 5D. Keep writing no matter what. We'll connect in a few minutes with the divine author within connected state. There's going to be words pouring out of you as a result, but there will be glitches in the flow occasionally, caused by either some left brain intervention on your end or a shortness of breath on the end of the divine author within, whatever. But if you stop writing, if you physically stop writing, if you pick your fingers off the keys for too long, you take your fingers away from the pen for too long, that stops the physical connection, that closes down the physical connection of you and those other 3 states. and your inspiration against the clot, and then you're going to get writer's block. So there will be times today when you're writing that you don't feel connected to the inspiration for a minute or two. Just keep the pen moving, keep the fingers typing. Because if that physical action stops, so will the inspiration stop from flowing through you, and it'll begin to clot. So without further ado, let's go into our Divine Author Within state. I want to like to lead you there today. Make sure, again, if you have it, the subliminal side of the CD, track of the CD is playing. And I'm going to guide you all the way through this. At the end of guiding you through this relaxation exercise, I will be inspired to lead you to a few catalysts which will cause you to write on certain topics. When you write, just remember to write as fast as you can. Don't read or edit your material. Write what you feel. And keep writing no matter what until I ask you to stop. So make sure you're sitting up straight in your chairs. That spine's nice and straight. Don't force it to be straight. Just let it be straight. Arms and legs uncrossed. Eyes closed. Chin to your chest. Drop your chin to your chest. Relax those neck muscles and just let the chin, weight of the chin, take it to your chest. Just remain there quietly, breathing normally just for a few moments. Chin to your chest. Now with your eyes closed and your chin to your chest, take a nice deep breath in. Completely exhale it from your lungs. Nice deep breath in. Completely exhale it from your lungs. It's okay to make a little noise with the exhale, it's normal. Another nice deep breath in. Really blow it out this time. Ah, chin to your chest. Another nice deep breath in. Blow it out. Eyes closed, chin to your chest. Relax. And allow the author, your divine author within, to construct a visual background in your mind. Allow it to construct it. Allow this construction to look similar to a movie screen. It can be any shape, size, or design to the movie screen, any texture, any color, but allow it to construct the movie screen. Through this movie screen will become a mirror by which we can communicate with divine author within, and it can communicate back to you on an auditory basis, visual basis, kinesthetic basis. But this will be the screen will become our go-between between you and your divine author within. We all know that our divine author within, our higher selves or God, whatever we call he, she, or it, communicates to us. What we so oftentimes forget, unfortunately, is that we can communicate to it too. And we can actually enter into a dialogue, a conversation back and forth. And this is one way that I suggest doing it, is through this writing method. Drop your chin to your chest. Nice deep breath in. Exhale all the air out of your lungs. Nice deep breath in. Exhale all the air out of your lungs. Breathe normally. If you're feeling any tension at all, any resistance, release that tension, that resistance, all on your own at any time during these exercises through the exhale of your breath, like a sigh. That's what we're doing when we're sighing. We're letting go tension through our breath. Chin to your chest. And just sit back, relax, and listen to me. I'm going to pose to your left brain, to your divine author within, for you a series of questions or topics presented one at a time for you to experience this divine author within connection, and then to write as a result of that connection, to express through that connection. What topics I'll come up with are based upon what I believe the needs of the groups are. So as I get a message fed to me, I'll feed it to you. And that'll become the topic that we'll focus on one at a time. Nice deep breath in. Blow it out. Nice deep breath in. Blow it out. Chin to your chest. Here's the first topic I want to share with you. It's a very simple question. I'm going to ask it. I want you to sit quietly then until I give you the opportunity to open your eyes and write. You won't be asked to share your writing with anybody, so it's just between you and your piece of paper, you and your keyboard. It's a very intimate situation. Chin to your chest. Here's the first question. Specifically, why was I drawn to attend this webinar today? What was I meant to get out of it? What was I meant to get out of it? Now, don't start writing yet. It's important to go beyond the hearing or feeling of the response for the divine author within. It's important to instead embody the response. So sit calmly just for another moment or two. Then go ahead and pick up your pens, put your fingers to your keys. Begin writing as fast as you can. Don't read what you write, write what you feel. And make sure you keep the pen moving, or if keys moving, fingers moving across the keys, I ask you to stop. Begin now. Just continue to go wherever the writing is taking you. Flow with it. Don't overthink it. Just let it write itself. You're doing great. Keep going for just for another minute or so. Making sure to release any resistance you're feeling through exhales as you breathe. Just keep going. Okay, move your attention again, please. Please stop writing just for a moment. Put your pens down. Don't hold on to them. Take your fingers off the keys. Let's go in again. Another layer of expression. Check your posture. Close your eyes once again. Drop your chin to your chest. Take a nice deep breath in. Blow out the exhale. Take a nice deep breath in again. Blow out the exhale. Now return to that space in your mind where the blank movie screen awaits you. The room we were in just a few moments ago. And here's the second question I'd like you to pose to your divine author within. If I write, here's the question. If I write what I'm being led to write on a personal and professional basis, where will the writing lead me? Don't start writing yet. Remember, embody the inspiration of the response, not just the feeling nature or hearing nature or visual nature. Embody it. Have your soul in your body, every cell in your body. Open your eyes. Begin to write again, please. Keeping in mind to write as fast as you can, not to read the material as you write. Just remain relaxed and continue to write. Let the writing lead the way. Let the writing write itself. Okay, pens down, fingers off the keys. We have 2 more experiences yet to experience through our writing today. Take a moment just to stretch your hands out a little bit. Move your back, move your neck a little bit. Oh, stretch out. Oh. Okay, then come back to your center again. Close your eyes, drop your chin to your chest. Go back into that room that's waiting for you with that communicative screen. It's been established for your connection between you and your author within, divine author within. And on that screen right now, I'd like you to see appear someone or something that you know unconditionally loves you. This person or this individual has been waiting for this moment to come through. He or she can be current in a human state, animal state, on the other side of life. Breathe out any resistance you have to the image of this person appearing. Breathe that out on your own. Don't wait for me to tell you all the time. Breathe that out on your own. Breathe out any resistance you may be feeling. And then listen. Listen very soundly as this person offers to you their enlightened perspective of who you really are and what it is that you're meant to do with your writing, whether it be blogs, poetry, just writing letters to friends, whatever. As this individual tells you, shares with you your perspective, their enlightened perspective of who you really are and what writing is meant to do for you and those around you. Then open up your eyes, pick up your pens, fingers to the keys, and go ahead and write. And listen. Listen to what this person has to say. Listen with your heart as they come through your heart. And share maybe the truest perspective of you ever given. Okay, let me have your attention again, please. One more little phase of this exercise. Close your eyes again, drop your chin to your chest. Go back into that magical little room with the screen in it. Take a nice deep breath in. Blow it out. Take a nice deep breath in. Blow it out. This last phase begins and ends with a request. Chin to your chest, eyes closed. Ask silently of your divine author within, please show you what it is that you should be writing next. Which may be a book, maybe a poem, maybe a part of a business plan, maybe a letter to someone you need to write a letter to, have been wanting to write a letter to for a while. Let your author within show you what it is you should be writing next and what direction you should be taking with your writing next. Chin to your chest, chin to your chest. Don't start writing yet. Girls are fast. Relax. Calm down, enjoy the experience. Then open your eyes now. Pick up your pens, fingers your keys. Knock it out, whatever is coming to you. Just another minute. Just keep writing, please. Just another minute. Okay, put those pens down one final time. Take the fingers off the keys. Thanks for your cooperation. A few things I wanted to share with you today through these exercises. I want to share with you how to get in connection with the divine author within the state for whatever purpose you want to use it for: spiritual guidance, enlightenment, writing a book, writing a letter, writing a blog, writing in general. I wanted to show you how you can make a direct spiritual connection with the divine through the divine author within writing process. Second of all, I wanted to illustrate for you how you can communicate back and forth through the divine art of writing, through the divine author within state, through the screen of communication that we established today. I wanted to show you how it felt to be in this state. You've been in this state many times in your life, but probably didn't recognize it for what it really was. Last thing I want to show you is how fast you write while in the divine author within connected state. And this is very important. This is very important. Take a few notes about this, please. To reach a direct communion with the divine through writing, you have to write at a speed of 1,500 words an hour and above. 1,500 words an hour and above. So if you're writing a book, that makes the book directly downloadable into your consciousness and into life if you're writing at 1,500 words above an hour and above. I want to show you that writing is a divine innate art form designed to communicate directly with God, He, She, or It, or whatever you want to call it. So let's figure out how fast you wrote today. Let me give you a little formula. Look at your writing. Don't read it. Don't read it. Just look at it. And pick out an average looking line. Average looking line. Count the number of words in that line. Count the number of words in that line. And write that number down or type that number down if you're using a keyboard. Then count the number of lines that you wrote from all the exercises today we did, all 4 of them. Count the number of lines that you wrote. And write that number down. Count the number of lines that you wrote and write that number down. And then multiply those 2 numbers. Multiply the number of words in an average looking line by the number of lines that you wrote. Go to your smartphones if you need to. Multiply those 2 numbers. Then multiply the total you came up with by 2. We wrote for exactly 30 minutes today. Multiply the total you came up with by 2. That eventual total will give you the number of words you currently write per hour while in a divine author within state. If you are around 1,500 words above an hour, 1,500 words an hour and above, you're reaching a direct divine connection with whatever you believe to be out there. Higher self, God, spirit, whatever you're calling it, call he, she, or it. And you can use that connection for anything you want. We use it in my retreats for the writing of books, releasing of books. You can use it for divine guidance only. You can use it to communicate more effectively with those that in your present life you have a difficult time connecting with verbally. You can use it as a business plan, for blog writing, for writing copy of your websites. But all writing should be done and only done while in this state. Because then it's your higher self, your God, coming through and speaking through your words to whomever you're attempting to reach, and they'll know the difference. People will begin to read your writing and say, Lisa, what's changed about you? What's different? I can't see anything different, but I can sense there's a difference, because your higher self, your divine self, is in communicating directly with those you most want to reach. If you wouldn't mind, ladies, typing into the chat room what your writing speeds were, your totals were, that would be great. I'd like to see what they were. Just type them in. 2,800 from Helena. 15 cents. Shit. Who got shit? 3,000. Wow. Anybody else want to add theirs in? 3,700. Monica, you're nuts, girl. A good nuts. So 4,800, 2,100. See, again, what I was trying to really exhibit more than anything else through these exercises is that writing is an innate art form, that you're kind of out of shape as a writer, but the muscle's still there. Sabrina will make sure that Lisa gets a copy of my book called Write to Heal, digital copy to send to you. That is the essential guide which we use to prepare people, new authors, for our retreats by clearing their personal resistance to the acceptance of their true selves. It's a real skinny little book, about 37 pages, and took me 3.5 hours to write this sucker. And it's the most powerful book I ever wrote. Of the 29 books I've written, it's the most powerful book. Reading that and doing the exercises will clear out any personal residue you have that could be standing in the way of you opening up to your true self. As a writer, as a speaker, as a teacher, as a business person, as whatever you want to be. But we use writing as the mode of therapy and communication and release to free you from yourself through the use of that book. Does it make sense? We got a few minutes. We can take Q&A, and then Sabrina's going to finish up for us. If there's anyone who'd like to ask me a question, unmute yourself and fire away. Or you can also stick your question in the chat room if you'd like. And Sabrina will read it off to me.
Yeah, you just take yourself off of mute. Formula again.
The word count formula, you take the number of words in an average line, multiply it by the number of lines in that writing segment, add that together. And you would do that for both the writing segments that you did, and take that combined total, multiply that by 2 to get your hourly words per hour.
And ladies, I'm assuming I talked to all ladies. There's a few blank screens, but I think you're all ladies, thank God.
There may be maybe a man or two. So.
A man or two with a well-developed feminine side, like myself. I've been doing these classes like this for 34 years all across the country at different universities, webinars, collective groups of different types, large groups, small groups like this one. And I've never seen a writing speed average for a group higher than this one. I think I would guesstimate the average writing speed in this group would be around 2,900 words an hour, which is nearly double what I look to accomplish.
Mhm.
I look to get everyone around 1,500 words an hour. I think we're around 2,900. The average writing speed of an author at one of my retreats is 2,500 words per hour, which means it takes you about 10 to 12 hours to write your book. So what that means to me is there's a great readiness and a divine timing and alignment with all your efforts that you're here for a specific reason, because now is your time. I mean, your scores are off the charts, girls, off the charts.
The something I noticed that came back to me is in the beginning, it's kind of like we're clearing stuff out and then it gets better, like for the second and third and fourth exercise. Do you see that happen a lot?
Definitely. Well, that's what I'm led to do. I'm led to initially relax people into this situation, then clear out some deep cobwebs, get them used to it, you know, loosen up those muscles, get a break a sweat, then hit them with the tougher topics. 3680. Wow. You guys will make up these scores, aren't you? You're lying to me. Another woman lied to me. Oh, no.
Andre, did you have a question?
Can you hear me? I don't know.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So I've got two questions. The first one is I do all my writing by hand, and then later I read it and correcting and then put it on a computer. But as far as the writing speed or whatever, do you see a difference between writing by hand and then or doing it on a keyboard, or what do you think? Is there just a personal preference for the
It's
writer?
personal preference. Whatever works for you, stay with.
Okay.
Whatever works is.
Okay. And then my other question is, this type of flow or automatic writing, I experience it a lot of times before bed. Like I'm in bed and I'm trying to sleep, and it's like, no, you got to write this before you go to bed.
You
And
know
so
what that is?
it's not in this organized space, but that's the only way that I've done it. And things again, they just at this rate also just fly off the page
Yeah.
because they have to come out. But
Yeah.
what about that? That's the only thing I've ever done before, because I never knew about this type of structure.
Innocently, you've emulated exactly what we did today. Just before you go to bed, you're tired, so the left brain goes to sleep, the right brain can come through. But it's inconvenient. It's inconvenient.
Keeps me awake.
Exactly. It's very inconvenient. And the spirit of your author doesn't understand what it's like to be human, doesn't understand sleep or food or entertainment or alcohol or anything like that. So it doesn't care. So you have to say to it, listen, Andre, I'm assuming your author goes by the same name as you.
No, it doesn't.
I really want to make time for us to hang out. But the time you're choosing sucks. Okay. So we're going to work a compromise. We're going to hang out. We're going to have a time that's good for me, because I know it's good for you because you have nothing else to do with your life but bother me. So we're going to do it in the morning, first thing in the morning at 7 o'clock or 9 o'clock or 1 o'clock in the afternoon, whatever. And I'm going to reserve an hour every day to hang out with you. But it's going to be on my terms because I'm human and I got a lot more responsibilities than you. And your divine author within will be totally into that. It's sneaking through at bedtime because that's the only time I can get into you. Makes
Right.
sense? So once you begin making dates, and as long as you show up for every date on time, it'll always leave you alone.
Okay.
Make sense?
Yes, great. Thank you so much.
Sure. Anyone else?
So I have a fear of getting in the state. Like if I do it first thing in the morning, right when I get up, is that what you recommend? Like right when you wake up?
That's what I recommend for a healthy lifestyle. I mean, it's easiest to get into that state first thing in the morning because your left brain sleeps and your right brain never does. So
Okay.
when you wake up, you're still in the right brain state. And it sets the tone of your day. It's like there's a lot of people who meditate first thing in the morning. They get their stuff together. Writing is an act of meditation, okay? It's actually you're in connection, you're listening, but you're doing something with it as opposed to just fluffing it off for the day. So it's an act of meditation. So I write first thing in the morning. My family's used to it. My family's used to me being very grouchy in the morning if I don't get to write. And so they leave me alone because they don't like to experience that with me. And it works perfectly for all of us. So I write first thing in the morning. It's also harder to get back to that state in the middle of the day after you've gone left-brained.
Mm-hmm. So then I guess my fear with that is just that I'm going to be cut off. But I guess that's just what you were saying, is that's how life is. You know, we've got other responsibilities. And so I can see myself getting in this flow and it's coming out, you know, and I'm typing. And then, oh, I've got to go get the kids ready and get them off to school.
Yeah, well, your writing speed was around 3,800 words an hour.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's say you're able to maintain that speed consistently. You would write 4,000 words a day. A week, you write 28,000 words. You write a book in a week. Okay. So we all have other obligations and responsibilities and loves in our life. So I would, instead of saying I'm going to write an hour in the morning, I'm going to say I'm going to write till I get 4,000 words done every morning, because sometimes that may be 35 minutes, it might be shorter, and then be satisfied with that. Say, I'll see you tomorrow morning. Set a date with yourself again. See you tomorrow morning at 5. Now, if you're just going to have to get up earlier to do your writing, make sure you go to bed earlier.
Right.
That's important. Don't self-sabotage your efforts by getting up an hour earlier, not getting enough sleep, and being grouchy the rest of the day. And then tell the people in your life, your husband, your kids, your animals, anyone else you live with, hey, I've got to do something really important first thing in the morning so I can be there totally for you the rest of the day. And I need to write, and I need my space in the morning. And you'll see that they'll contribute to that welfare, your own welfare, by helping you create that space. But if you can write an hour a day at your speed, you'll literally finish a book in about a week to week and a half.
Awesome. So
Which
do you have any kind of like shutdown process, or, you know, kind of wrapping up those thoughts that are still flowing so that you can kind of pick up where you left off the next day?
I'd suggest, number one, when you make a date with your author within, make a start time and an ending time. So we're going to write between 6 and 7 in the morning, for example. It'll let you go after 7 because it's good to its agreement. Second thing, keep an open notebook available that if your story starts to get ahead of you, if your book starts to get ahead of you, that you can write down certain passages that help you recall where you're going. But a date is defined by the beginning time and the time that the date is going to end. So you'll see your left brain will shut down if you give it that hour. You'll say, hey, 7 o'clock, I got to go. No problem. I'll see you tomorrow. Okay?
Okay, thank you.
Sure. We got time for maybe one more before you have to close out today. Is there any other burning desires or questions you may have?
Could you just talk about caffeine for a second? Because that was a big takeaway from the retreat.
Yeah, it's a tough topic. How many of you ladies drink coffee first thing in the morning? Okay. Coffee is a false revving up process. Caffeine in general is a false revving up process. And it actually takes us to a different place when we're trying to go through calming down to get to the right side of the brain. So if you want to continue to drink coffee, I would suggest you drink it after you've done your writing, not before, because you'll find it 10 times as hard to relax into this state that is so necessary to do your writing. At our retreat, since we write for 3.5 days straight, we strongly suggest that people coming to the retreats don't drink any coffee at all at the retreats. Because again, we're together for 3.5 days in that state. Doing it at home on your own for whatever you're writing, or whatever you want to use your writing to do, you can just use your caffeine after your writing as a positive reinforcement for having written that day. Okay.
Tom, can I just ask a question? My burning question is that what if you're exhausted because your kids are sick, and as I am as well right now, and you're up a lot, and then because I'd have to get up at 5 o'clock to get an hour in.
Yeah.
I'm going to be exhausted even if I go to bed, you know what I mean, at 10 o'clock, and then I can't drink coffee. And will I still be able, will my right brain still speak to me without sounding totally retarded?
When you're exhausted, your left brain goes to sleep. Your body can still maintain your right brain with the divine author with them through it. In fact, I begin my retreats in Sedona here on Thursday nights. I do so for one specific reason, because I want to exhaust you for coming. So when you come back early Friday morning, you don't have the energy to maintain.
Brilliant.
Your left
I'm
brain.
going to be excellent.
So exhaustion's really good. Exhaustion actually works. It's something that I encourage in my retreats to get the results that I look for.
That's really reassuring. Thank you.
Sure.
Helps.
Rita, you want to take over now, girl? Thank you, ladies, for the time
Thank
today.
you.
Made the difference. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, I love that caffeine is a big topic for
Oh.
everyone. I haven't been a coffee drinker, so it wasn't an issue for me.
We've
But
got a lot of A personalities in this
trust
group,
me.
Sabrina.
yeah, you get supported so well during this experience, and it doesn't matter if you're in the retreat room or in the comfort of your own home or hotel room, wherever you happen to be, if you do the virtual option as well. So, for this group with Lisa Peterson, what I'd like to do is offer, I put in the chat room, a $200 savings off the March 2nd through 5th virtual Write Your Book in a Weekend retreat, making it only $295 to attend.
Wow.
I know, right?
I didn't pay that. That's pretty good.
Well, we'll see what we could do for you, Lisa. Okay.
Thank you so much. I mean, I'm blown away because it's such a treat to, even the people who are doing it virtual, they all finished their books. So you can do it anywhere in the world.
Yeah, our last retreat, live retreat, was in Houston just about a month ago. And we had 42 people there, and all 42 people finished the books in a day and a half.
Will you
It
be
was incredible.
Will you be having another retreat? I'll be out of town on those days.
We do have other retreats. We have 3 other retreats in Sedona this year. They're June, August, and November. We also have Houston retreat, which won't have a virtual option, however, in September 14th through 16th. And we're booking San Diego at the end of October, the 3rd weekend in October. So we do have those options available as well. We are also entertaining the possibility of adding an all virtual only retreat. But we haven't, pinpointed those days yet, and definitely committed 100% to it as of yet. But
But the ones
I have to say, go ahead.
the ones in Sedona, those will all be virtual, the one in June?
Yes, the Sedona retreats, we have, all of those have virtual options available to it. So June 8th through 11th, I believe it is, August 25th through 28th, and, I don't know, November 8th through 11th. It sounds like a good one.
Is there any benefit for being in person versus virtual?
It really is up to the person, is what I found. When I first started working with Tom, he said, the virtual option is great for returning authors. It's good, it's good to have that live first person, experience. And the very first retreat I facilitated on the virtual basis, because I'm helping, I'm at retreats facilitating and doing the virtual, managing that as well. There were people that had only attended virtual that were finishing their books as well. I didn't see any less success rate with the virtual option. In fact, it seemed like they were able to just kind of be in their own comfort zone and really move through it without having any of the distractions that could be occurring within the room. But all in all, either it's a personal preference. So I've had authors who have completed and published their book only doing the virtual option, and there are those that want to always have the in-person experience. So it's really, you have to ask yourself, what is the best option for me?
There's an advantage of doing it live, that you get to be in a company of a personal company, face-to-face company with 60 other authors. That's a definite advantage.
Mm-hmm.
The disadvantage of live is we sell out every retreat, so you have to sign up early enough that you can get in there.
Right. And during this workshop, I actually talked to somebody who's probably going to take one of those very limited live seats that we have available right now for the March retreat. So we do have $100 savings on any other retreat in 2017 that we can offer you. And that $100 savings off any retreat, I'll put the promo code into the chat room right now. And it's workshop 17. So the promo code for the $200 savings is LP for Lisa Peterson. We don't use really difficult cryptic messages. LP, $200 savings. So in 10 months I'll be, I know what that is.
What are the times for the retreat? I mean, roughly, like,
So,
is it, you said Thursday night it starts?
Thursday afternoon, we begin at 4:30 p.m. for 4:30 p.m. to 9 p.m. on Thursday. These times are Arizona time, which is currently Mountain Standard Time. So 4:30 to 9 Thursday, Friday and Saturday, 7:30 to 6 p.m. And on Sunday, we have independent writing in the morning, begin with a breakfast and come together for closing talk and ceremony around 11 a.m. and end around 2. And so you basically adjust your time zone as we're streaming this live during that retreat. If you do the virtual option, you just adjust whatever time zone you're in according to Mountain Standard Time.
And we get authors from all across the globe, so we haven't come up with a system yet to adjust for people in Australia,
It doesn't stop there.
Vietnam, or Sweden. We have people that are literally during our retreats at midnight their time and write all night long. Thank God it's only 3.5 days in length.
And thank God we encourage you to wear very comfortable clothing anyway. So yoga pants, pajamas, whatever. You know, you're going to be sitting there writing for long periods of time. You want to be as comfortable as possible. So no makeup, no hair, nothing required.
Yeah, I will say that it was a little intimidating. I didn't know if I could stay sitting that long, but it just went by so fast, and you're so good at the structure that you just start doing what you're supposed to do, and there isn't a lot of distractions. So yeah, you just get it done. It's awesome.
Yeah, the energy of the room. When I talk about the room, I mean the retreat room, the virtual retreat room. It just takes you into that space and takes you much deeper than you can go on your own. So even, I think everybody at a retreat feels at one point or a time or another like they want to run out of the retreat room. What keeps them there is the energy that's surrounded by that nurturing, loving, deep energy of the divine author within, holding them in his place. Kind of cuddles them and rocks them back into their seat, rocks them back into writing.
Yeah. Well, like I thought my body would be uncomfortable. Like I thought there were all these things that I thought would happen and that it would be uncomfortable with all these people around you. But once you start writing, like that just took over, and I didn't even notice all the other stuff. That was interesting to me.
And even without caffeine.
Without coffee.
Lisa Peterson, do you drink coffee?
I do. Yeah. I can't drink very much because I'm such a hyper person. But
I know people who drink coffee.
Tim's a coffee addict, so it's hard not to just, it smells so good. And yeah. This has been amazing. Thank you so much, Tom.
Thanks, Lisa. Thanks, Sabrina. Thanks, ladies. I really appreciate our time together
Thank
today.
you.
Well, thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thanks.
Are you going to send out the link for these?
Yeah, I'll put it together and I'll put the replay together. So if you wanted to listen to it again, I'm like so excited to have the replay because I mean, yeah, it's just magical stuff. I pretty much almost fell asleep when we first started. I was just like processing and remembered that like if anybody has to write anything, go write it now because you're in a really, really powerful state that he just brought you into. You could also replicate it by listening to the replay, but even what just happened is open some things that would be a great thing to go write if you've got some things that you've got to take care of.
He mentioned that there was 2 different parts to the recording.
Yeah.
It wasn't separated out, but I guess maybe it could go to the website.
Yeah, I think they just, when I sent you the download, I already have it on my computer, and I typically just focus on the one that the continuous, I just put it on continuous loop and I just listened to it over and over again. That was the one that had like the coyotes and different sounds.
Oh
I
yeah,
haven't
that
actually listened to the other one. Did anyone get that? The other one that he was talking about? Okay.
I didn't hear any. Did anybody else hear coyotes or anything? You did? Oh, maybe I was gone. My author within had blanked everything out. I don't know.
Well, how'd you write so many words? You're the one that had writer's block. What happened to you?
Well, I don't think it made a lot of sense because I literally just kept my fingers going sometimes when I didn't really have, like I would just keep writing the same thing over and over.
Perfect.
So I just kept my fingers going. And, but man, my wrists hurt.
Yeah, Lisa, I got a question for you. So, because I write everything by hand, I don't type it. So at these workshops, I mean, I can't, after, a half an hour, my hand's getting kind of tired and maybe I can go for an hour, but I don't know, physically, can your hand really go for that long? I mean,
They have people,
yeah.
there are people who will handwrite the whole thing. You're working slower. So I was handwriting today and I wrote that, and you're right, you get tired out a bit more. So what did I do? I did 2780 handwriting. So yes, you're going to deal with some extra obstacles if you don't type. I noticed that there were a lot of people that were typing and they were pecking and not like fast typers. And that also is an option. So he really encourages you to have both options available
I mean,
to you.
I can type really fast, but then I get so left brain if I'm typing.
Yes.
It gets me so left brain on the typing versus the creative on the writing.
Perfect. So here's how he deals with that in the retreat. I'm surprised he didn't talk about it. So all Thursday and the first several hours on Friday are only handwritten. You cannot type. He won't let you. Because what happens is when you have moved over into typing or handwriting for all that time and your hand does hurt, you're now officially in the state and you move to the typing on the keyboard and you don't have any obstacles anymore. So what you're talking about what normally happens of going into that, it's gone after several hours of writing the other way.
Yeah, because the computer, to me, that's just all work.
Yep.
Oh.
Yep. It's totally magical what happens. And now, because there was so much writing being done there, when I, channel and connect in, I don't even look. In fact, much of the time on the weekend, I wasn't even looking I had my eyes closed and I was typing. That's how I was able to type. Like at one point I mentioned, not here, but about 1,500 words typed in a 15-minute section. So 6,000 words in 1 hour. I think I reached maybe 5,500 in that 1 hour. So it was only happening because I was closed eyes and it was just pouring out of me. There was no thinking at all. And then I relied on typos to be caught. And then I just have been fixing them later.
Oh, cool. Great. Thanks.
In the workshop or the retreat, does he go over, creating an outline for the book, or are you supposed to have that prepared and then you're just going there to write it?
So you're going with nothing. You're not supposed to bring notes. In fact, I went to write one book and ended up walking out with a totally different book because he's not letting you do any of that. Like it's about what's going to happen and what's going to come out in that space. Then most people are finishing their book by Saturday morning. I think I was late. I felt kind of late at like maybe 10 or 11 Saturday morning. And then the next 24 hours was about getting his assistants in the layout. So he has this really cool layout that he teaches you how to restructure. The book just comes out. But when you look at it, you're like, okay, wait a minute. So then he teaches you how to restructure the book so that it actually makes sense. And it keeps the reader engaged with a cycle of not too much emotional stories. And you've got to have the facts that support it. And so then you'll notice when you start to do that where your holes are. So you may be walking away saying, I need to go do research on these things because this is where they go. And so you walk away with that. So like what he told me, he does a session with you. I don't know if he does it with the virtual and the live, but he does a like 20-minute session before you arrive at the retreat. And he was like, Lisa, you need to book out. He's just like, okay, he's like, you need to book out 4 days after the retreat with nothing if you want to get the book done. So like I did that. I booked that out. And then I was able to do a lot of that structuring even after I left the weekend. But I was writing a much longer book. Like my book's probably going to be between 50 and 80,000 words. Whereas most people finishing those books, they're, they could be anywhere from 10,000, 20,000 words. Like it's a different exercise. So it's easier to structure that book, a 20,000 word book, than it is to structure an 80,000 word book. So I'm still working on mine, and it's not because the material isn't amazing. It's more of which book comes first, because I am playing with 2 books. So that's my issue. But I could have it done.
There's another question that I had, because I don't know how long my book is going to be. So again, if he's saying most people finish their book in this amount of time, what if my book is twice as long? That's what.
Yeah. So when he says book is done, it's like the book has told you you've gotten everything out that you're going to get out this weekend. And for some of us, we walk away and we continue to work on it, but he's really adamant that you don't want to over analyze the book. Like there's a diminishing returns if you start doing too much and messing it up. He's like, it's come in a very divine state. You want to find out, how do I reorganize it to get it out there? And I have not done that with this book. Like, just to be clear, I'm just sitting on it for other reasons, but it's really close. So I'm not sure if I'm answering your question, but the point is that it comes, it tells you when you've done everything that you can do without more insight or more research or more input.
Yeah, I have that same experience when I do business writings, and it's that little needling, it's not done, and then you just know when it's finished.
Mm-hmm.
But I've never written something like this, a novel. So I feel like I know everything I want to get out, and when it's out, it'll be done, I guess. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. And I'm not sure, out of the 100 people participating, whether they were virtual or in person, I got the impression that everyone reached that point at some point in the weekend, where they're like, oh yeah, it's done. And he asks you questions, and he's like, you are so close. Like, he keeps you from going into your head and being like, it's not done. Like, it's not done. He's like, it's done. He's kind of encouraging you. And he was right. Like, I didn't have to take it anywhere else. It was complete.
Does he read it when you're done with it?
So you can. He has a follow-up thing to help you publish, go through the whole entire process. And part of that is a read through by him, which he will also sell to you. So I think I will probably go back to him. I didn't buy the publishing because I understand how to do that on my own. But I do love the idea of him doing a read through, which I think was like $700, although he's not used to people coming back with these bigger, longer books. So it might be more than that. But I mean, the idea of him being able to read through it and give you constructive feedback is, like, to me, would be mind blowing, because he's just read so many books.
Right.
So yeah, kind of cool. I'm glad you guys stayed. I'm glad. I was so excited that he did this. I'm like totally in heaven that we got this private opportunity with him.
That's great.
It helps to live in Sedona. I always say that. Oh, wait, let's see. I'm going to take you off.
She wants to talk to us.
Yeah, there we go. Hi, Lori.
Hi, Lisa. Hi, all. This was amazing, amazing. And what if, his retreat's called Write Your Book. I am brand new to just feeling the call to write. I don't have a book in mind. Like you said, are you writing a blog? Are you doing some technical writing? I kind of have all of the above going on. So where would I sort of fit into what's next, being kind of writing?
So I would say the majority of the people that go there have no idea why they're there. They're being called, and they show up, and like, because even in my podcast, if you listen to it, he's like, well, you got your like business thing going, like he kind of looks down on the business idea of what I'm doing, because most people are coming like to share there's stories inside of us that are ready to be shared with the world. It may be with our family. It may be with, a population of people. It's like, that is what he says, is that if we die with those stories inside of us, we are going to really suffer, like that, and we'll know it as we get close to the end of our lives that we had this opportunity to share these things with others. So it's really coming from this very soulful place inside of us, and to listen to it and to respond to it, and then let the book tell you. Like the other day when I interviewed him for the podcast, I said, I told him I had a lot of people telling me I should go to some publishers and not just self-publish, which is what I wanted to do. And he's like, okay, well, that's awesome. And he gave me some tips, and he's like, well, have you asked the book? And I was like, no, but I definitely haven't asked the book what the book wants, you know? And he's like, that's what it's time for. So today the book was like totally talking to me when I was writing. And I was like, and what it basically said today, because I used the opportunity because I haven't been so good at following up since the podcast, was I'm supposed to write the proposal quickly and then go ahead and continue with the book. And that the book isn't actually, the first book isn't the one that I wrote at his workshop. I'm supposed to go and write and carve out another 3 days and finish the Infinite Abundance book, the one that I started like a year and a half ago. So it's fascinating. Like it just was like, boom, you know, no question, no nothing. It was like, this is what you're supposed to do right now. So gotta ask the book.
Thank you.
Ask
Thank
your
you.
heart.
Yeah.
Yay. So this was great. Thank you so much for being here. I'm glad that we could share the time together.
Yes.
Thank you, Lisa. This was
Thank
wonderful.
you.
Yay. Have a wonderful afternoon.
You too.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.